Guys, this will be another weekly video update. All right, so if you want these videos to keep coming each week, make sure to sign up to Delta Exchange using my referral link. So let's go to the charts, take a look at the market. Okay, so there are a few things that I want to go over. So let's just start off with Bitcoin on the weekly chart here. So basically, right from this swing to this swing low, you know, we're basically just trading in the middle of that range. Now, the range is not important, right? So it's some features here with PA that are worth noticing. So first off, we're having this weakness on the way up, which has been filled. Okay, so we sold off in towards this previous consolidation, and then we have some more weakness below here, which will be, of course, much more extreme. Now, since we did this aggressive sell-off, we have created some weakness between basically our current level and 60k, okay, 57, 60k, some weakness here. And then we have some weakness just above, right? So just in very simple terms. So in general, just want to mention this is that, you know, you can say that buying in towards the bottom levels of a range will always be much more profitable than trying to get in on the middle. But there will always be that we might never get as deep as we prefer, right? And the same goes for taking shorting opportunities. Shorting at support, right, always gives bad RR. So if you were looking to take short positions, right, you wanted to take shorts within, you know, the bottom part of the range. So, you know, that comes down to a few ideas now that you just have to look and see about what kind of price action we will see moving forward to basically plan what you're looking for. So most of the time, after we're seeing very aggressive sell-off or even pumps, we always print a few sort of small body candles, right? So it doesn't mean that we can't go up and retest, but we can leave them a week. So usually you get a range, right? So this is a range after expansion. Okay, so now we have expansion to the downside. Then we had the expansion to the upside. You had that particular consolidation after the aggressive sell-off. You had then this particular consolidation, right? And then we had the retest back up in towards that per level. Then we left this weakness, right, filled that in and then expanded. So important to understand that we're having consolidations, expansions, right? Then we're having consolidations, expansion, consolidation, expansion, consolidation, expansion. Okay, just in very simple terms, so you know we are on the same page what we are looking for. So let's go to the daily, just look at some simple levels, right? So now we have within the frame on a daily chart, we have range low towards the range high, which we are framed in towards the chart. So in simple price action terms, here you can see we had this top, the retest, the sell-off, okay, sideways consolidation, lower high, lower high, lower highs, aggressive sell-off. Now price here caught a bid, a very weak move. So price then just rebalance itself between this last leg that we created, right? So price from this high to this low, price is sitting again in the middle, right? So we're sitting in the middle of the middle after this weak move to the downside. Now often what happens is that price often tries to fill in some of the weakness that we have already created, right? So now we have weakness below and above on the chart. So that makes it even much more difficult really to navigate price, in my opinion, unless you have a directional bias, right? So if you're you know, bearish, basically you want to look for these lower highs. You know, price comes back up, shorting, moving back lower. If you are bullish, right, you want to take long opportunities within this frame and look for expansion to take out at least these highs and then potentially retest the highs, right? And then and by having a directional bias, you frame the ideas you want to take trades. So simple trend lines, clean SR within this given price point, clean SR at this level. And then if I would just zoom out a little bit more here, just to put in the previous structure, you can see how we're having this whole structure, okay, inefficient moves below on both sides, okay, giving the same SR. All right, so same SR. Then we have this prior consolidation with this particular clean SR. It's basically where price responded to. So, just to frame that again, okay, so we can use this one, all right? So basically the point of control here, the price responded to, and on the volume profile as well, you have to see that we're having this weakness, okay? So we're having a point of control right there, point of control right there, and then you're having the weakness just below, okay? And you see how price swept into that weakness, price responded, and now rebalancing itself. So as far as trade ideas goes, we discussed this in some previous updates that, as price moves in towards these levels, I think personally, this whole price region is a very good level to look or to accumulate some crypto. Now, looking for a reversal, you want to see price establish some kind of a consolidation here, creating some space in between the structures. Okay, you always need time. Time creates accumulation or distribution depending on where we are within the chart, and then you're looking for a directional play, right? So if you can start seeing some sideways movement here, creating some kind of a space, showing some signs that we're not breaking lower, I think it would be a very strong long idea to target these highs at least towards the big figure 60k, okay, and then see what kind of a reaction we'll get, and then potentially trying to watch 70, 80k, if the market's conditions are correct. So that is basically the idea. So as far as taking a trade, depending on how you look at it, the RR given within this range now, I think is not as good. Okay, so depending on how you look at price, we have to use a fib level as well, just to make it a bit more easier to understand which levels we are responding to, right? So this was the 70%, and we're having this the golden target as well, right, which was around 44,500. So depending on how you would like to project this trade, so I think this kind of a setup makes a lot of sense in my opinion. Now, the stop loss is a bit too tight for the particular trade in my opinion, but regardless, I think it's a decent trade, okay, as a scalp. Of course you can wait and get it a bit more tighter depending on what kind of price action we will have moving forward. Now, if you want to look for more of a swing trade, okay, on a larger time frame, okay, we need to put a different perspective into this. So I think since we already basically tagged 70k, the next obvious K would be obvious level would be 80k, big figure. Okay, so let's just going to coordinates 80,000. Okay, so 80k would be the next obvious place to look for a swing position, or to target the swing position basically. So anything from these levels right there, then you would, in my opinion, of course, you would need to have sort of a wider stopper to accommodate for a potential wick below, in my opinion, and then rather wait to add to a position once you get some kind of a confirmation, and then target prices towards 80k, right? So in that sense, you can also use, just to frame the idea here. So if you're using the fib tool, right, you can say that from anything between the 70% to the golden target, it's basically the level where you think price will respond to. So you're having this trade, okay, or else you can frame it and say, okay, so I think we're gonna backtest or price in some more of this week, and you trying to get in the lower end of this wick, right? And then you can also have a wider stop basically, okay, which would be a very perfect scenario here, that you're getting a bit more whatever like this, and then getting more parabolic. That would be a perfect scenario, but we never get these perfect trades. Okay, so understanding what you want to see and then react upon it, is the best way to approach the market. So let's take a look at some more charts. So Ethereum, I'm still long on Ethereum in spot. Haven't really taken a leverage trade yet. Holding up fairly strong. You can see how we expanded below, took out these stops. Then you're having this prior consolidation, price rates that in towards the weakness below, you're getting this buyback, price expands, okay, and then you're having this basically this very clean SR with this prior consolidation, price tags into that level into the next SR response, okay, and price is trying here to hold support. So we're just having basically a daily wick here. So if price reverses here, okay, so some consolidation break above, then we have only this clean highs basically to take out, and I think eventually then price most likely gonna go more parabolic. So even if you look at this price action, we haven't really seen a blow off level, right? So this PA is just, you know, weak PA, sideways PA, you know, and then couldn't sustain the momentum. You're seeing that particular sell-off, and now we're basically just, in my opinion, just reaccumulating here, creating a consolidation, a range. Once that is broken to the upside, I think price will expand more aggressively. So, you know, you can see here from here we had the blow off top, here we had a blow off top. On this part of the chart, we didn't see any kind of aggressive movement to the upside. So I think most likely we're gonna see that, you know, so, you know, my bet is on that. So we will see how that evolves. You know, I think this is a really good looking chart in my opinion. So in simple terms, you know, as long as 4K holds, which was basically the idea before this last week as well. So as long as 4K holds, I'm expecting upside. So upside first target would be 6K, then 7K. Looking at the chart, for me, the way we are creating these kind of consolidations, you know, if you can take this one as well. So if you're using that particular pivot, you can see how we're trading just below that, right? So once that is broken, you know, the probability for me, how I look at the price is that we should see, you know, basically, let's see, more, give me a second, something like this, right? We should see some kind of a parabolic move. Now it doesn't need to be take that long to unfold, right? But getting back above this level and then see price expanding towards 7K, and then you know, probably gonna get a sell-off back in towards some of these levels at some point. But regardless, I think this makes the most sense to me. You know, if we're starting to lose the 4K level here, right, and the markets, you know, turn bearish, and this is indeed the temporary top, most likely we're going to take out in towards this prior level. So then I will be looking around 3K as the next obvious place that price will get back to, right? So either we're going to lose 4K, move towards 3K, okay, or else we're going to reclaim this particular range and expand towards 6-7K. Okay, so that's the two scenarios for Ethereum. AVAX looking fairly decent at these levels. Give me a second. 8-hour chart is a really good one. All right, so take it back. 8-hour chart here. We're having some levels just below here. So let me just frame this as I had. And then we're having this clean SR, right? So if price now backtests some more in towards these levels, whatever price does, if you can create some kind of a range here, regardless of the structure, doesn't need to be as wide as I projecting here, is just to explain how you would like, or how would you prefer to see price action, and then see more or less price then starting to expand. First target, and then back towards all-time high. Okay, so I think this is a very good looking chart. So let's continue to the next one, Solana as well, looking decent with just testing this structure. So, you know, overall, you know, I can't lie, you know, the key level, you know, for Solana would be closer towards 160, 150. Okay, retesting some of these levels. The same as the other charts, right? So we're trying to hold this clean SR. So basically what we are looking for within most of the charts now is that you want to sort of create this bottom, right? Regardless if you rate it, and then failed attempt to move lower, and then looking for the expansion higher, right? So as long as we are within this downtrend, you know, we always have to keep in mind the possibility to get a continuation, okay, of current price move, right? So then you can get an expansion back down towards towards 150, towards the stops below these levels, right? So if this is a downtrend, these levels will be lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, okay, and then you always be looking for lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. So if this will expand in a bearish sense, right, we would of course look for lower lows, and that will be straight in towards the 150 level. Okay, so either we want price here to start rounding off somehow, failing to move lower, and then getting back up, okay, or else we're gonna see these lower prices. So all you can do, is make up your mind, basically, if you're bearish or bullish, and then take the trades based on your bias, okay, and the levels you're seeing. So Atom as well is a decent level we are watching here, but I can't ignore that the key level here will be the weakness around 70, okay, which is the absolute massive or major level, and this we didn't see as aggressive candle. It's much better to see long candles, because this looks more as accumulating PA, okay, in towards these levels, in towards these levels, in towards these levels, okay, and then you can get a more parabolic move, right? So by the chart itself, it looks like price is loading up, right, to release, to sell off lower, okay. So yeah, I'm keeping that in mind. So I would prefer here the same as well. Some sign showing us, creating some kind of a space in between here that price wants to reverse. And when you know that price has reversed, you're having very clear targets. You have here basically a triple top that at some point definitely going to get filled. Would expect price then to move back in towards the 40s, right? So once you're having a distinctive sort of bottom play, and you getting confident that the low is in, right, you would then take a trade something like this, okay. First target in towards these levels to take out those particular highs towards the big figure at 40k, okay, which will be a really good trade once the chart is ready. But at the moment, I would much rather take AVAX trade or whatever than Atom. So we just have to be patient with this and see how it unfolding. DOT as well. Just one line here. I think this chart as well is looking really, really decent. For me. Personally, it's a perfect structure here, responding at the 50 at the golden zone. Okay, so overall, we can maybe backfill some of this week, but I highly doubt that we're gonna get below this block as well. Okay, so as extreme scenario, we're having the 80% retracement there with the lower end here of the structure. So back down towards 70, in an extreme scenario, would also be a very good buying opportunity as well. Okay, so we just have to wait. If you're bullish on crypto, okay, you can accumulate spot. It's a different play than taking leverage trades, okay, because your position size should be smaller, and you are also planning to hold it for a long time. You wouldn't be worried if you have to hold it for several months. So DOT engine coin, really good as well. Okay, more or less the same setup here. You're having clean SR with some more structure just below. If price would come back in towards these levels and make some space, looking for signs for a reversal would be a really good setup. Okay, so that's one that I'm watching as well. Take a look here at the Axie as well. Very good, clean SR, and we got some weakness here. Okay, so that we might get filled. So price comes back up here, distributes, come back down. So if you get an expansion lower here in towards these levels, will be a very extremely buying opportunity in my opinion. Okay, so I will be looking to trade this, or else we would just have to be looking for signs, some kind of a space. We always create some space before reversing. It's you can see it in between here. We're having space in between from this high to this high. We have created space, right? So from each levels we always create space, right? Because we're having distribution takes time, accumulation takes time, distribution takes time, right? So you're always having consolidations, expansion, consolidations, expansion, consolidations, expansions, right? Consolidation, expansion, consolidation, expansion, consolidation, expansion, consolidation, expansion, okay? And then you create all these different price action, and you want to understand that these often have force, right? So the larger they are, the more or the stronger they will be, right? So if they take a lot of time to develop, there will be more liquidity sitting within the structure, and you will have much more significant sell-offs, right? So if this price action, let me go back, just very quick example. So if this price action only was this large, right, and you were seeing a sell-off, price would have just gone, straight down there, and then you would expect price to come back up, because it's not often you see price just extend, doesn't go like that, right? Price needs to accumulate or distribute price, and then you're seeing the larger sell-off, right? So you need consolidation for price to expand. Without consolidation, there is no strength in price. Okay, really important note to take away. Okay, so if you enjoyed it, make sure to give a thumb up. Okay, guys, peace out.